What is up everyone? Ilagan, 4th year medical student from the Ateneo School of Medicine and Public Health, and today I will be answering some questions you guys sent me about med school. But before that, magpapalit muna ako kasi medyo mainit and pang thumbnail lang kasi to. So that's better. Okay, so the questions will range from very silly questions to medyo serious questions. And these questions actually came from you guys. Some of these questions I got from reading your comments. Others came from the incoming first year med students. And I asked some of my non-med friends to ask questions as well. Hi, before we proceed, allow me to interrupt myself. To celebrate the milestone of my channel getting 500 subscribers, I will be giving away these InPods 12 Bluetooth headphones for free. Considering the amount of online classes we do nowadays, these Bluetooth earphones will surely benefit you. If you want to take a quick bathroom break or you want to get a glass of water in the kitchen, if you're wearing this, you can still hear the lectures going on in the background. Even if you're not doing online classes, if you just want to listen to music or just watch videos on Netflix or YouTube. It's just my little way of saying thank you to you guys who've been watching and supporting my channel. But for those who are new here, don't worry, you guys are still included in the giveaway. So to know the full mechanics of the giveaway, you have to wait and watch until the end of the video. But for now, back to the Q&A. Okay, let's get to it. I'll just have my laptop here with me. Best accomplishment in med so far. Well, it's always an accomplishment to be able to progress to the next year level after every school year. So I'm lucky that I've been doing that for 4 years in a row now consistently, but non-academically related. The best accomplishment in the past 3 years for me was when my friends and I made a movie. So these friends of mine, they're med school friends, and we made a movie entitled Reality According to Me. I co-directed it. I helped write it also. I helped edit some parts of it, and I also acted in it as well. Sadly, it's not in YouTube because we used the copyrighted music, but you can view it in Vimeo, and I'll link it down in the description below if you're interested to watch it. We made this movie because there's an Ateneo tradition called ORSEM, or Orientation Seminar. So we have an ORSEM in college for the incoming freshies there, and then we also have an ORSEM in ASMPH for the incoming med students here. Part of the program of ORSEM is to have an O film, which is a movie created by students to show the incoming first year medical students what life is like in school, parang ganon. Normally, O film is very comedic, but for the film that we made, we decided to make it more true to life and more real. And we hope that aspiring med students, even non-med students will be able to get a feel of what med school is like, even if they haven't experienced med school yet. The people who watched it said naman that it was worth it, and they watched every single second of it. So if you were able to watch it, let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. How many hours of sleep do you get, and what does your typical day look like? Okay, here's what my typical day looks like. I alarm at 4 o'clock, and 4:10, and 4:20, and 4:30, and get up at 4:45. The moment I get out of bed, I go straight to the shower, go back to my room, dress up in uniform, and get out of the house. So in around 15 minutes, from 4:45 to 5 o'clock, I'm out of the house. I'm sorry I keep mentioning traffic, but it's really something that takes up a lot of time, especially if you're running late. So I leave the house a little bit before 5. I get to school earliest siguro mga 5:15. Normally, mga 5:30, 5:45, depending on the traffic, depending on what day it is. 5:32 in the morning, and I really don't know why I'm in school this early. Look at the cars. No one is here except these three, and this one's mine. I mean, the sky's pretty nice though. Wow, that's a nice sky. If it's a chill day, then I sleep in my car until class time, which is around 8 o'clock. But if we have a lot to study for, let's say we have SGDs, we have team-based learning or quizzes or an exam, then I don't sleep in the car. I go straight to the classroom and start studying with friends until 8 o'clock. 5:21. Got to school in 18 minutes. Car number 3 though. Mas maaga si Lisa, mas maaga si Axel, but that's okay. Not bad for the first exam. So that's also the time I eat breakfast. Sometimes I have baon from the house for breakfast, and sometimes I just buy from the cafeteria. That's basically my morning routine. Morning class will be from 8 o'clock to 12 noon. And we can have as much as 4 lectures, tigwa 1 hour each, or as little as 1 lecture na 4 hours long. All we're doing in those 4 hours is listening, taking down notes. Some people sleep. And then we have lunch. So as a first year medical student, your lunch time is 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock. You use that time either to sleep, to eat, to read up on other readings that you might not have finished. And then afternoon classes will be 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock. And same thing as the morning classes, you take down notes, listen to lectures, or sometimes, you know, because bagong kain, you end up sleeping in class as well. At 5 o'clock, we get dismissed, so everyone goes home. A lot of people go to coffee shops around their condos. Me, I drive home straight because pag pumalo ng 5:30 or 6 o'clock, wala na. I'm, again, stuck in traffic for 1 to 2 hours on EDSA. They'll get home at what? 7, 8 already. But if I leave between 5 o'clock and 5:30, I'm home in like 30 minutes. So this is what sunsets in ASMPH look like. When I get home, I go straight to the couch and sleep until before dinner time, and then they wake me up at dinner time, and then I eat dinner, and then after dinner I take a bath, and then study on that desk again until I sleep at 11 o'clock. So my usual bedtime is 11 o'clock, but I end up usually sleeping 11:30 because I still daydream before I sleep. And then yun nga, I alarm at 4 o'clock, but realistically I wake up at 4:45 and then bounce. The cycle repeats all over again. What is something you wish you knew before you entered med school? Well, I wish I knew that med school would be the most challenging academic thing I'll experience in my life so far. When I was in college, I didn't know that med school lasted 8 hours a day continuously. Kasi back in college, I was used to making my own schedule. So there would be times wherein I would go to school at 10 o'clock for a 12 noon class, and then my day would end at 3 o'clock and I'll be home. So that's just 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock. And there was this one semester na parang isa lang yata yung class ko, Tuesday and Thursday. It was just a 1 hour, 30-minute class. And after that, I was done for the day. So what shocked me the most in med school was we sit down for 8 hours a day straight. I mean, not 8 hours a day straight. We have 4 hours in the morning, a 1 hour lunch only, and then 4 hours in the afternoon. So that's 8 to 5 for first year med, that's 7:30 to 4:30 p.m. Second year med, and that's 8:30 to 5:30 p.m. third year med. For fourth year and fifth year med kasi, you're already in the hospitals. Well, in this case, they're sitting down on that desk. So, but yeah, for the first 3 years of med school, it's roughly 8 hours a day continuously. Me personally, I'm in school 5:30 in the morning pa lang because of parking. If you watch my other videos, then you know how much parking is a big deal for me as a student driver. So I'd be in class around 3 hours early, and then we normally go home 5 o'clock, 5:30. But on some days, we have frisbee training. After dismissal, we go to a field in a subdivision near ASMPH, and we train there from around 6 p.m. to 8 p.m.
How's training so far? Training's pretty intense, man. Pretty tricky, but training's good.
Every time Dan for runs, yung sad, ginaganon niya.
And I get home at around 9:30. So it can last as long as 16 hours in a day. But that's with the extracurriculars already, etc., etc. But another thing I wish I knew before entering med school was that when you're fourth year or fifth year, your duty schedules will last from 24 to 36 hours in the hospital. So I haven't experienced it because of COVID, but I'm looking forward to that when the pandemic ends and we actually get to do our duties already. It's a love-hate thing, you know, good for the experience but bad for your health kind of thing. Question number 4. First realization in med. Old carts. Wait, like what? What's that, Gio? Old carts? What's that? I don't know if other med schools teach it this way, you know, but when you first learn how to take the patient's history and to interview the patient, we learned this thing called old carts. I remember before med school, whenever I'd go to the doctor's clinic and then they'd interview me, I always thought na parang random lang yung mga tinatanong nila. They'd ask questions like, oh, when did it start? Does it feel like this? Does it feel like that? When you do this, does it hurt? When you do that, does it not hurt? Apparently, there's a certain structure to it called Old carts. Okay, I'll go through it one by one. O, onset. When did it start? L, location. Where in your body do you feel the pain, if there is any? Number 3, duration. When you feel the pain, usually how long does it last? C, characteristics. So, can you characterize the pain for me? Is it sharp? Is it dull? Is it numbing? A, alleviating factors. What have you done to alleviate the pain? Did you take any medications for it? Did you try herbal medicines, etc.? A, again, aggravating factors. So, is there anything that you do that makes the pain worse? R, radiation. Does the pain radiate anywhere? T, timing. So, do you feel the problem in the morning, in the afternoon, at nighttime, or does it like persist the whole day? S, severity. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much does the pain bother you? And another S, symptoms. Do you experience any associated symptoms with that problem, with that pain of yours? Next question. How was your first anatomy lab experience? Ooh, this is good. Okay. Anatomy lab was my most favorite thing in first year med. You don't experience it any other year after that. Here's what happened on our first day. It was October, and it was the second week of our musculoskeletal module. And on the morning of that day, we had a mass for the cadavers before we actually started dissecting them. And here's how it happened. So we were all upstairs in our 5th floor classroom, and they brought up an altar, they brought up a cross, they brought up a priest, and then so we said mass to honor and say thank you to the souls of those cadavers for allowing their physical bodies to be dissected. After that, the faculty gave each dissecting group flowers, and then we went down to the 4th floor, and that day was the first time we actually stepped foot into the anatomy lab.
Mache is giving our cadaver the flower.
Sweet mo naman.
There were 20 cadavers, all in their own dissecting tables. They were all covered in blue tarp. We form a circle around the dissecting table of our cadaver, and then we will place the flowers near the feet, and then we can offer our own prayers to the cadaver. And that's basically the blessing, the morning session. The afternoon session was when we transitioned into wearing our scrubs already, and we did our first dissection. I don't remember if it was me or my friend Dylan who made the first cut, the first incision, but what we basically had to do was to cut the skin around the chest here. Yeah, so we cut that, we cut here, and then you will lift the skin. You will lift the skin like that, lift the skin like that, revealing the muscles underneath, which are the pectoralis major muscles, left and right, right? I remember going home that day super tired and smelling like formalin because we were standing up for 4 hours and we were just peeling off the skin little by little. We started here and then we ended up peeling up the whole forearm na, both sides yata. But yeah, that was the first day. Next question. First time you felt you knew nothing as a BS Psych graduate? So, if you didn't know yet, I'm a BS Psych graduate from Ateneo, batch 2017. And the first time I felt like I knew nothing was when we did our first ever histology lab session. For those who don't know what histology is, it's basically the microscopic study of tissues.
Yes.
There.
Hi guys. I'm handling the vlog today. Whoa! Crystal Lab. Hi Mil.
Say stuff, dude.
So, what do I say? Mag-evaluate tayo ng slides.
It's the best slide today.
Welcome
Nice
to
one.
Gio's vlog.
Yeah. We're evaluating slides. What is your favorite slide today, Jalo?
My favorite.
The clock face.
The plasma cell.
The plasma cell.
Plasma cell. Fun fact, ginawa yun ng batchmate natin.
Literally, siya gumawa ng slide.
Yeah.
Plug Alvin. Galing kang gumawa ng slide, bro.
Blessings for you.
So we basically examined every single tissue of the human body. So that's like the skin, the heart muscles, the lungs, the appendix, the intestines, everything.
What's your favorite slide?
But coming from BS Psych, I never really had much experience with histology. The only thing I remember from BS Psych was xylem phloem from plants, or like the stages of mitosis in the onion root something. So I super lagged behind in my knowledge of histology as compared to like my other batchmates who took either biology or life sci or health sci in Ateneo. Or for those in UP, public health or mga nursing, ganon. They knew so much more than me. In fact, I think they even know more than me until now. So, but I guess that's the advantage of taking a really hardcore pre-med course. The only reason naman I took BS Psychology back in college was when I was in high school, people were saying that psychology was like the most versatile college course because you can enter law, you can enter medicine, you can go to corporate, or you can even pursue psychology itself as a field. So basically, I took BS Psych because I didn't know what I wanted to be back when I was in high school. What is the weirdest place you've ever slept in at school? Okay, to be fair in high school, I never slept in school. In college, I never slept in a single class. But in med school, in med school is where everything started. Back in YL5, back in first year med, we had the 5th floor classroom. And in the 5th floor classroom kasi, the lecturer can see every single student. There's no blind spot. The lecturer can see every single student in the classroom. So nakakahiya naman kung natulog ka dun, diba? Kasi kitang-kita ka ng prof. But our classroom had 2 restrooms, one on each side at the back. One for the girls and one for the boys. So the weirdest place I've ever slept in at school was in the restroom in the 5th floor, boys CR. I probably did it 3 times that school year. Pero syempre, I'd make sure na malinis yung toilet, no, bago ako matulog doon. So yeah, I'd enter the restroom, go to an empty, clean cubicle. I'll put the toilet seat down, and then I'll sit down on that, and then I'll lean on the wall and sleep for around 5 minutes, 10 minutes. That power nap was enough to get me going throughout the rest of the day na.
Okay, so having a private bathroom is both a good thing and a bad thing. Some people think it's convenient because, like, if you want to go to the restroom during class in the middle of a lecture, you can just head on to the back, do your business, head back in, continue reading your stuff, right? But then again,
recently though, in 2019, the library repurposed one of their rooms and made it into a sleeping room. So there are 3 lazy boys in the library, and you can reserve it or walk in if wala naman tao doon. And then you can lie down and sleep for 30 minutes. And then after 30 minutes, the librarian will wake you up and tell you that your time is up. Pero ang bango ng room na yun kasi may aromatherapy sila dun sa corner. So parang there's this like the essential oils thing na may tubig na umiikot. Tapos parang may mist na lumalabas. So parang super relaxing when you sleep in that room. But then again, we didn't have that back in 2017. So dun ako natulog sa toilet. How did you know med school was for you? I didn't. I just took a chance and then I ended up liking it. Not loving it, but you know, liking it enough for me to stay. Kakasabi ko lang, diba? I didn't know what I wanted to be when I was in high school. That's why I took BS Psychology in college. And then I tried out med school and I ended up liking it. And now I'm here in 4th year. Hey, but real talk it's absolutely normal to go to med school, spend a few months in med school, but after a while, realize you don't want it and then leave. It's completely normal. I have friends who did that. They wanted to see if med school was for them and so they tried it out. And take note they didn't leave because they were dumb people. No, their NMAT was high. Mga 97, 98 mga NMAT ng mga yun. So they're smart people, but they realized that just med school just wasn't their thing. Sometimes you have to experience it to know if you want it or not. And I guess med is one of those things. But you know, life is life. So everyone has their own plan. Everyone has their own timeline. So don't get pressured by what others are doing. Just stick to what you want to do and what you feel like doing and what you think you should do. In the end, no pressure. No pressure. Next question. What in your life have you given up for med school? Time. Time is gold in med school. You use time to study, you use time to sleep, you use time to eat. And it's so hard to allocate that time equally to everything that needs your time. So there have been a lot of instances wherein I've had to skip family gatherings, a friend's birthday or a celebration, or like a date with a girlfriend, diba? But I'm not saying you should give all of those up. I'm just saying that you should know which ones are a good trade-off for a low grade in school the next day. What have you not given up in med school? Well, sorry, my camera died. Well, I'm a very physically active person, and my main sport is ultimate frisbee, and I learned it back in high school. I was varsity back then, became co-captain for 1 year, and then in college, I literally only ever played one game the whole 4 years. So I thought that, ayun na, that is the end of my Frisbee life. I would never be able to play Frisbee again because I'll be going to med school and time is gold there, so baka I might not be able to play sports anymore. But guess what? There's this thing called Palarong Medicina wherein all the med schools in Metro Manila, or at least those who want to participate in this sporting event, and Ultimate Frisbee is part of it. So I joined the team and I was able to participate in my first ever Palarong Medicina back in second year med school.
Okay, bye-bye. Good luck, good luck.
We play for you, we play for Ateneo.
Bad ball.
That's not a call.
Ooh, okay, so this is a tough question. What do you think about the MD-MBA program? Okay, I'm telling you now, I'm not the best person to discuss the MD-MBA program. For sure, there are other people in school who can explain it better than me, but allow me to try. When I was in college, before med school, I thought that Ateneo Med's MD-MBA program was there so that the graduates of Ateneo Med will be able to make as much money as possible. So yeah, back then I was thinking that's kind of weird. I'm still going to the school, but that's not a very Atenean mindset. And true enough, I was wrong. I was very, very, very wrong. So the MD-MBA is not there so you can just keep milking money out of your patients. No, not at all. That's not that. In fact, it's totally the opposite of why ASMPH is offering that program. Probably not gonna explain it to the best of my abilities, but I'll try, and here's an overview. We have to acknowledge that healthcare belongs to the service industry. And as with any other industry, there will always be a business aspect to it. As in, you need resources, whether it be financial, humanitarian, equipment, and the receiving end, you have the general population, aka your patients, your customers. And all these things lie within a system, the healthcare system. And as with all systems, you can always find a way to make it more efficient, more manageable. More efficient in the sense that you will be able to find ways that will benefit as many stakeholders as possible, but at the same time, without exhausting yourself. You know the saying na parang, to be able to give, you must have something to give. Or like in airplanes, flight attendants tell you na parang, if there's an emergency, you have to make sure to wear your own mask first before you help others. You do that not because you're being selfish, but rather you're doing it because you can't extend yourself if you don't have the ability to. I guess going back to the MBA program and like tying it together with the public health aspect of it. If we really want to make a change in public health, then change must be systematic. Hypothetically, if someone were appointed this certain position in government, which entails running the biggest, largest health insurance firm in the country, pero wala naman siyang public health experience, ano na? Ano nang mangyayari, di ba? Yeah, I may or may not make another video on the MBA itself because there's a lot to say about it, but I don't know if I have time to. So I hope like you guys are content with this answer for now. Okay, last question. Best thing about ASMPH? So easy. The community. From the custodians, to the guards, to the people working in the cafeteria, to the admin, the faculty, the dean, to the batch below us, the batch above us, everyone, the alumni, we are one community. You feel the support from everywhere. They want you to succeed as much as they want themselves to succeed. Everyone always asks you how your day was. Everyone always tells you good luck before a test or greets you good morning even before the sun is up, and it just makes your morning a little bit better that way. So it was a big deal when one of our ASMPH guards actually got COVID. And this is not confidential news naman. It's been all over Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. But yeah, he got COVID, and what's great about the ASMPH community is we were able to set up this fundraiser and we were able to raise enough funds to cover the hospital bill of that guard. As of 2-3 days ago, he posted on Facebook na COVID negative na siya. And he was already out of the hospital. He is now just doing his 14-day quarantine at home. So yeah, we have this motto called No Atenean Left Behind. And I guess that incident showed that this motto extends to everyone in the community, whether you're a student or not. I guess I'll end it there. I hope this video gave you a good glimpse of med school life, ASMPH life. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, comment, share, and subscribe. I still have to study. Maraming salamat and peace. Okay, thank you for staying until the end of the video. Now let's talk about the mechanics of the giveaway. First, you have to be subscribed to my channel, so click that subscribe button if you haven't yet. Number 2, please like this video. Number 3, comment down below what you think the best part of the video was. Number 4, please like Oro Loops in Facebook and Shopee because that is where I got these InPods 12s. Recently, this quarantine, a lot of people have been getting into small businesses, no? So if you want to give it a try and you need help in sourcing products, then Oro Loops, aside from being an online store, can also help you in doing that. All you have to do is message them in Facebook and they will reply to you quick. Okay, so once you've done all of that, I will go back to the comments, check the 5 most interesting comments that I find and randomize that. And yes, the winner will receive this pair of InPods 12s. Shipping will be free, so don't worry about that. I will be willing to ship it anywhere in the Philippines. Okay, that's it guys. Bye!